everyone, I'm Lauren from RVA's very own society, and welcome to the Tyrant's legendary walkthrough for Halo Wars. Today's mission is Arcadia Outskirts, so please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Outskirts. Ah, nice Halo 2 reference.
The Covenant are right on our ass! Keep moving!
We cannot lose our foothold on Arcadia, gentlemen. Secure a defendable position and hold it until we can reinforce you.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tyrant's legendary walkthrough for Halo Wars. Today we're doing the mission Arcadia Outskirts. And before we begin, I just want to say, f*** this damn piece of shit, bitch, cocksucking, goddamn mission. I'm glad I got that out. This mission I did consider to be vastly more challenging than Arcadia City, and you're going to see why in a few minutes. Now, first of all, one of the issues I encountered here is you have a very limited number of troops that you start out with. You've got a few Marines, you've got Sergeant Fords, you've got a Scorpion tank, and you've got Spartans that this time you can control. One of our Spartans has a chain gun, one has a Spartan laser, the other has a rocket launcher. All have various cool little tactics they can do. They can all capture vehicles, that sort of thing. Right off the top, I'm going to say do not go straight to the crater. That's suicide. Instead, go down, go south, because that's what the ladies like. And anyway, while you're doing this, take your Marines and garrison them as much as you possibly can. I try to garrison the Marines in that Warthog right there, but also take one group down here to the reactor. There are 2 reactors on this set, and it will help you get more power more quickly. Also, they will be a little bit safer because they are garrisoned. You do want to build your tech level as quickly as possible, but I did find this to be a challenge in this mission. One of the things that you're going to kind of have to do is, you know, the crater's over there on the right-hand side, you know, towards the bottom of the map, but you really don't have that many units. What I typically like to do here is have Sergeant Ford sort of scout the area and pick up supplies so that when we actually do get to the base, you can build up as quickly as possible. And you do need to be quick about this, because if you're not, that Covenant mega turret is going to be online. It's not quite as devastating as the one from Arcadia City, but it's still very powerful. Where it shoots still seems to be kind of random, but once it does start targeting your base, you are in trouble. Worst of all, you're going to have Covenant troops constantly attacking your base. It really is kind of a pain in the butt. So while I have Sergeant Ford sort of scouting the area here for supplies, I'm going to go ahead and move the Spartans and the Scorpion tank towards the base. Garrison the Spartans because they will last a lot longer. And just as you advance, continue to garrison, then release them, then move up and garrison them again. As you can see, the Hunters are already instantly upgraded. I'm not sure if this is on all difficulties or just legendary, but this goes the same with the Wraiths, the Ghosts. They have shields, they have their souped up plasma mortar. It sucks. It sucks hard, and not in the good way. So once we've sort of advanced here a little bit, again, there is a second reactor to the north. Now, I've sort of had a problem with this because, again, you start out with so few units, it's difficult to hold down 3 locations at a time. Now, again, you're going to have that plasma mega turret built, whatever the hell it's called, shortly, and that's a pain too. Now, I've seen some people manage to get their tech level up, to get their Mac blast and everything ready to actually hit it hard and get some units to back it up, but I have never managed to do that. I'm not sure if it's just luck of the draw or what the deal is. So we're going to take what units we have, while Sergeant Ford is continuously scouting for more supplies, and just advance towards the base. There are Hunters there. It's just infantry for now, but once you actually start building your base, it will instantly start getting attacked by other Covenant, primarily not only troops, but also Hunters and Wraiths, and it really is kind of a pain in the butt. So we're going to take this nice and slow. Try to keep your Scorpion as long as possible. I do tend to heal my units a lot here when I need to. I know it's kind of an expense on resources, but I'm really not sure how to keep them alive otherwise. And you really do want to keep them alive as long as possible so they can defend your base when you start building it. So as you can see, we're going with the Hunters right here. We're almost there. Once we've got that squared away, we can go ahead and call Sergeant Forge back. I don't know if there's any more supplies aside from on that bridge over there on the left, but I want to keep them around here as long as possible. And also I'm going to have Sergeant Forge scout for supplies once he's back at the base. So we finally got these guys down. You have to kill all the Covenant units in the crater before you can actually build. And as you can see, wraiths are already starting to show up. We haven't even started building the freaking base yet, and it's already being attacked. So again, you want to garrison the Spartans. It's your best defense for the time being, and just start building your base. Supply pads are obviously going to be a must here, and also reactors. I don't really typically build the barracks because the units just aren't very effective at the moment. My main goal, kind of like the last mission, is to get an air base up and running, but instead of doing Hornets this time, ultimately you want to go for Vultures. Now, if you can't get to that tech level, because it does require 4 reactor points to build Vultures, then you're going to have to start building Hornets to help defend your base anyway. They are very effective against ground units, and also the MegaTurret. MegaTurret seems somewhat ineffective against air units. I mean, it can shoot them down, and it will, but not quite as easily or quickly. So right now we've got the Spartan. Gosh, a lifetime worth of training, and right now he's digging through boxes. All right. So again, we're just sort of this is sort of where we have to sort of wait. I'm sorry I'm stuttering. This is a crazy mission. I really did have a little bit of trouble with this one, especially if you're doing this with no deaths. So again, we're already being heavily attacked here. As you can see, your Spartans do have shields. That little bar above them is a shield that does regenerate. The health, on the other hand, does not unless you're using the Spirit of Fire heal. So if you notice that all your units are starting to get low on health, definitely gather them in one place and use that Spirit of Fire heal. For the most part, your units over there on the left-hand side of the board where the reactor is can hold their own for a little while, but once that Plasma MegaTurret is up online, it's going to destroy it. So I'm trying to build this up quickly. My advice here is to build turrets and upgrade them with the Flame Mortar. It is fairly effective against troops. Now, again, you're also going to have wraiths and ghosts attacking you as well, along with the occasional Banshee. But it's going to primarily be infantry here. So right now, I'm just trying to concentrate all my forces on the Covenant that's invading from the north. That is where their base is located. That is our ultimate objective, is to get to that base and destroy it. Now, if you can hold out long enough for Omega Team, that's another team of Spartans, by the way, to show up, you're pretty much in the bag at this point. That's sort of the turning point in the mission. Covenant don't seem to attack you very much after that, and it gives you a chance to help build up your base and also wipe out any Covenant that are currently attacking it. So as you can see, we're still going ahead and just trying to build up as much as possible.
Enemy engagement.
Let's go. Going.
Right now I just want to explore a little bit, try to get more supply pads up there. I'm going to take my Spartan over there as well, see if possibly we can go ahead and get that other reactor. Again, this early in the game it's pretty difficult to do because you need all the forces you can at home base defending it.
More resources required.
As you can see, it takes 1,200 supplies to upgrade your supply pad, and you're going to need a couple of them. You're going to need, I think it's 2 to upgrade the Mac Blast for the first time. I'm not exactly sure. The Mac Blast itself costs 600 in supplies per blast. It's good to use against the MegaTurret if you can, but you're going to have to follow up with other units very quickly. As opposed to the last mission, the Covenant are much more aggressive towards your base. It seems like in the previous mission I really didn't have to worry about it too much, and as you can see, the Marines are pretty effective when they're garrisoned right here in the reactor. But in this one they are very aggressive, especially when that MegaTurret's online. It's going to be complete hell. So your goal here is to, at the very least, defend yourself long enough for the Omega Team to show up. I've seen some people do this mission faster. I've tried multiple methods here. But it seems like the way that works best is just to try to hold out as long as you possibly can. Now, throughout the mission, the UNSC is going to back you up with reinforcements. They're not going to be a lot of reinforcements. You're going to have I think Wolverine show up. Yep, there it is.
More resources required.
And of course, they're coming in from the north with Pelicans. They can get shot down before they get there, and at the very least, they're going to have, pretty low health, which can be a problem. Now, as you can see, this guy is getting attacked pretty hard. The Mega Turret is online, which, again, sucks ass. So what I'm going to try to do here with my Spartan is at least deal with the Wraith. The Spartan's Y ability is to capture the vehicle, and while the Wraith itself really is kind of ineffective against the plasma cannon, at the very least we can stop it from shooting at the base. It's a lot easier to capture a Wraith than it is to destroy it. And as you can see, it's already getting hammered by that plasma turret. From what you can see earlier, they do tell you when it's online, but there's really not a lot you can do at the moment. Again, I've seen some people manage to build up their forces fast. Oh, shoot. Down, retreat, damn it. Jeez. Oh, God. But like I said, it's just, if you're trying to fight on multiple fronts, it gets pretty difficult, especially if you just don't have the resources for it. So what I'm going to try to do now is build up my air base, and if I can keep my supplies in good order, I can start building up Hornets to defend the base a little bit better. Much of the same way we defended the cargo ships in the last mission. Now, so far the attacks haven't been too bad. Again, with Garrison Spartans it does help, but since you've also got that Mega Turret that just sort of shoots things at random, it seems to target the turrets and the Spartans the most, it will wreck your day very, very quickly. Keep in mind that when you build a reactor, if it gets destroyed, it does take your power level down. And of course, if your supply pads are destroyed, you're not getting income either. So we're going to go ahead and do an instant upgrade for the Hornets so they're not pea shooters. And now things are starting to get a little bit rough. You can see that we're already getting attacked by upgraded Hunters. The Banshees are starting to get a little bit abusive here. The Flame Mortar is helping a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and use a Mac Blast here because my units are just getting destroyed.
Angel here. Got some evac Marines here wanting to help. Cover my landing.
Glad I actually got to save it. Almost a poor judgment call on my part. But yeah, I mean, if it gets to a point where you are being overwhelmed and you can get a bunch of Hunters grouped up in one location and you have the resources for it, go ahead and use that Mac Blast because you're really not going to have much of a... Well, if your defenses are down, you're pretty much toast.
All units.
We're already pretty low on units here, as you can see, so I'm just trying to hold out long enough to get a few Hornets into the air, just to lend a little bit of air support. Now, Forge is down. He's not... I can't see him being really that useful unless he's in his Gauss Hog. Alright, we may end up going with the Mac Blast here. Not exactly sure yet. These are just infantry, so they should be okay. What I'm going to try to do is build up enough Hornets to attack the Mega Turret if I can, because it's already starting to hit my base. Fortunately, it's targeting the turrets and nothing really critical at the moment, so I'm going to see if just rebuilding turrets will help. The problem with this is obviously it's eating through my supplies, which prevents me from building reinforcements, Hornets, and of course getting that tech level up there. And it looks like they already destroyed the reactor because I'm down to 2 instead of 1 now. But that's how quickly that Mega Turret can just take it out. Now again, it's not quite as aggressive as it was in Arcadia City, but it's still pretty damn aggressive and it will wreck your base pretty quickly. Fortunately, when you've got Hornets in the air, it becomes a little bit easier to defend your base. Right now I'm just trying to build up enough forces so I can go attack the Mega Turret.
Enemy engagement.
What I'm going to attempt to do is hit it with a Mac Blast and then go ahead and use my Hornets on it. So as you can see, we already upgraded the Hornet, so it's got passengers. We're not at a tech level yet where we can get archer pods or missile pods or whatever the hell they are. Shaft pods. Really. Shaft. Girth. So, you know, again, we're just trying to build up the Hornets here. We do not have the tech level for Vultures yet, unfortunately, because we got our reactor destroyed, and I was not able to capture the other reactor in time. So I'm just trying to amass here. I'm going to sort of try to yo-yo these guys into the base, corner them, and sort of like you saw in the first mission, how he sort of lured all the enemies outside of that main base. I'm going to do the same here, just so that my other Spartans can sort of take over. You can see one of my Spartans, one of their shields is down, but their health is still good. Their shields will recharge once they stop taking fire, but again, in this mission, that gets a little bit tough. The Hornets are being fairly effective at the moment. But as you can see, the base is already getting attacked by the mega turret. So this is going to be a problem. I'm trying to get more Hornets online so we can go attack it, but again, doing that while defending the base is a little bit rough. You have to wait for a lull in the attacks before you can actually let your Hornets leave the base to attack the mega turret. If you're lucky enough to catch the mega turret early on, it's not quite as difficult to go through this part. Obviously, it's a big time reinforcement for the Covenant, and it does make things a lot more difficult for you. You're spending more resources building buildings than you are actually building troops. So at this point, the name of the game is sort of just to try to hold out long enough for a mega team to arrive. And that, in and of itself, is pretty difficult, especially when that mega turret's online. So I'm still building up Hornets. I've got 5 currently. Not really enough to go after the mega turret. So I'm not really sure. Well, hell. Fortunately, they seem to be going after the Spartans more than anything else at the moment, which is nice, but, you know, at the same time. So I'm not really sure how we're going to fix this. Alright, so again, using the Hornets just to defend the base, long enough to build up an army big enough to attack the mega turret. I know I keep repeating that, but yeah, I'm a little bit nervous right now, as you can tell. There's no alcohol in the house! Alright, so we're going to keep building turrets to help defend the base, and also to try to steer the mega turret's blast towards that rather than in the important buildings.
More resources required. More resources required.
We're almost there. I'm going to go ahead and try to heal my Hornets before moving them over to the mega turret. I'm hoping 5's enough. I really wish I had the missile pods with it. But again, you really do need to upgrade to that 4th tier of power before you can make any real effective infantry or air units or anything like that. Now, fortunately, the base hasn't really been attacked that hard. Son of a bitch! Okay, well, that made things just a little bit more difficult, so again, we're going to start trying to pump out Hornets. Once the mega turret starts getting really aggressive, you're really not going to have a whole lot of choice but to try to rush the thing. There really isn't a whole lot of point in defending your base if you're defending it against something that you just can't destroy. The mega turret, of course, is pretty far off and not within range. It's really inconvenient to go after it. I'm trying to make the hunters my top priority at the moment. I've got more than enough Hornets to be effective against any incoming attacks by infantry, but unfortunately I still don't think this is enough to go after the mega turret.
UNSC evac Pelican Bravo 29 inbound.
Okay, so we do have reinforcements all on the way. Once we get these guys settled in, let's see if I can go ahead and... See, it's just difficult to find a lull in the attacks. So we're going to see if we can finally take down the mega turret. It has a lot of health. And I'm afraid to call all my units over here. It's very effective against ground units, so that really wouldn't help me but so much anyway. It is very important that you try to get this thing down as soon as possible, because once you do, you can spend more time building troops than rebuilding torn down buildings that have just been bombarded by that, you know, enemy mortar. But you also don't want it to destroy. And we could have hit it with a Mac Blast too if... Damn it. if it hadn't destroyed our reactors. Again, it's a very effective plasma gun. And now it's going after the Hornets. Crap.
Turret complete.
We've got it down to fairly low health, but now it's getting attacked by infantry. Shoot. Well, I thought this was going to work, but apparently not. If we had had a Mac Blast, we could have taken this thing down. Unfortunately, because the turret already took out the reactors, we do not have that as an option. Base is nearly destroyed at this point. But we should be getting fairly close to Team Omega getting here. So right now, I'm just going to utilize what we have left.
Trust me.
Oh, here we go. And here's Team Omega. So yeah, if you have any troops left, just use them to defend the base at the moment. That's really all you can do.
Is down.
Once a Mega team shows up, now that the plasma cannon only has a little bit of health left, we can use the Spartans.
Team Omega is prepped and ready. Pelican is en route.
Thank God. Like I said, once the Spartans are here, since the plasma cannon only has a little bit of health left, we'll go ahead and take that out first so we can go ahead and rebuild the base, rebuild our troops, and attack the Covenant base. These guys are very effective. Heroes in the making. Gotta love it. Okay, so the Spartans are on their way. You desperately need them at this point. As you can see, the base is getting nuked like crazy between the Mega Turret. And this almost looks kind of hopeless at the moment. Like I said, I've had more trouble with this mission than any other so far, just because it's difficult to manage all of your troops while building supplies and dealing with the Mega Turret. If you don't get to the Mega Turret early on, it does this. Unfortunately, just because I was defending the base so much, it was difficult to build up enough troops to attack it. So this is sort of a rock, paper, scissors mission. I don't know if there's really a set way. But again, the main strategy here is just to try to hold your base out until Omega Team can get there to help you. Once they're there, the mission's almost in the bag, as long as you're not, like, I guess, too far out. As you can see, my Spartans are pretty much my only defense at this point, along with the Hornet. So now we're going to go ahead and start rebuilding our supply pads. And I'm going to build turrets to see if I can just deflect the Mega Turret's fire from the Spartans. Now again, it's going to do some heavy damage to the Spartans. Very effective against ground units, not so much against air. So now that we sort of have this online, now that we have a reactor, we actually have a chance to go ahead and see if we can use that against the Mega Turret, as long as it doesn't destroy the reactor before the Spartans get there. That's the key. And again, it does cost 600 credits. So keep that up as long as you possibly can. You can build a second base here. Really wouldn't have done me a whole lot of good at this point. Not with that Mega Turret there anyway. It would just completely wrecked it. Ugh. Actually, it may have served as a deterrent. I don't know. Okay, so now that we got the Spartans there, I'm going to try to not use, at this point, the Mac gun. I mean, I could. Well, let's do it. I want to save the Spartans.
The Mega Turret is down. Good work.
You can opt not to use it if you're trying to save supplies, but again, you really need to get that Mega Turret offline as soon as possible. Once a Mega Team shows up, it's a lot easier to do that. Obviously, we had already done significant damage to it with the Hornets already, which made it even easier for them. If it hadn't been for that, the Spartans probably wouldn't have been able to do it. Spartans are effective, but again, the Mega Turret hits pretty damn hard. You could potentially garrison the Spartans, and that would help as well. But again, you have to be quick about it. As you can see, the garrison was on the other side of the Mega Turret, so the Spartans would have to get there first. Now, at this point in the mission, this is the real turning point here, because the Covenant's not going to really attack you very much at this point anymore. I think I'm just stuttering now. I'm developing a stutter. Alright, so at this point, my main objective is just to get all the supply pads and reactors I can. I want to upgrade that tech tree. We want to get vultures in the air. And we want to build up these forces and attack that enemy base. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can scout the area just a little bit, get more supplies.
I'm there. Going.
Go ahead and get this reactor back. We're also going to go ahead and build up that second base so we can use it strictly for supply pads. And now things have really turned around.
Feeling fine.
If you can make it to this point, you should be in good shape, but it really is a challenge just trying to micromanage this mission. I'm not really sure what it is. I don't know if it's just the constant attacks by the Covenant. The Mega Turret certainly doesn't help matters very much. So we're going to go ahead and garrison this over here. I'm going to go ahead and garrison some of the sites to the north as well. Just so that in case the Covenant do attack this base, I have some sort of defense. Okay, so far so good. Once this one's up and running, we're going to go ahead and put in some supply pads, upgrade those to max level. Feels like this thing takes forever. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade this as well.
Excellent work.
And no kidding. Having a delayed reaction there. Can't believe if you've made, like I said, if you made it this far, you're pretty much in the bag. But building that second base really doesn't become an option until you've taken out that mega turret. So now we can finally start building vultures.
Station upgrade complete.
Go ahead and keep maxing out those supply pads, or as I call them, maxi pads. Shut up. And at this point we've got 5 of them. Okay, we're going to go ahead and build some turrets too, just in case. Again, I'm not really expecting the Covenant to hit hard. Once you've already destroyed their mega turret, they seem to sort of retreat back, or at least once the Spartans arrive. I think that's the key. Once the Spartans arrive, they're kind of like, we're not going to screw with these guys. We really don't want to screw with half a dozen Master Chiefs. So we're just going to kind of hang back at our own base. The base is pretty powerful. So what I'm going to recommend is, aside from building your army of vultures, you also want to upgrade the Mac gun to 4x. That way, once you actually attack it, you can hit it really, really, really hard. And yes, that is what she said. But you can hit it, with one major blast, and of course your vultures and whatever troops you have can finish it off. As you can see, we're not really getting attacked anymore, so you can pretty much send all of your troops over there. So I just need to get the supply pads, raking in the dough, raking in the credits, and that way we can go ahead and build up our massive, massive force and just, I want to retaliate so bad. I hate these guys. I mean, this seriously has been driving me crazy. This mission is definitely nuts. At least with Arcadia City, the vast majority of that mission was okay. There wasn't really anything you had to worry about till the end. I mean, if you don't micromanage correctly, yeah, Cargo 2 would get destroyed, like crazy. But as long as you amass the right forces, the ending really wasn't so bad. Aside from the coin toss scenario, like I said, as I mentioned in the last video, I had like a dozen Hornets in the air and a bunch of other forces, and for whatever reason, the Mega Turret just completely ignored them and went for Cargo Ship 2 with less than a minute remaining, and that just sucked ass.
Supply pad upgraded.
And personally, I don't like to suck ass.
All units.
I don't know about some of you,
Local units.
especially in Georgia. Alright, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and just kind of scout the area a little bit, see if I can mop up some stragglers while getting some more supplies so I can just crank out more troops faster. Try to get this mission done and over with as quickly as possible. We still have a couple of wraiths over here. Let's see if I can take care of these guys. 3 Spartans should be sufficient. Oh, but we got hunters too, so I'm going to see if I can capture this wraith. If you can capture the wraiths, then it should pretty much be in the bag from there. But he's already getting kind of peppered by the hunters. I did think it was kind of cool that a regular hunter, unupgraded, has the same weapons that are in Halo 1 or in Halo Reach, but when you upgrade them, they have the beam cannons from 2 or 3, so it was kind of cool how they tried to incorporate everything, although I'm pretty sure the upgrade should be the other way around, where the beam is a weak piece of crap, and the fuel rod round is what really packs a punch. Okay, so the Wraiths are down, Hunters are down.
All units.
At this point, we can just go ahead and continuously build, well, gather supplies and build. I got the Wraith out of there because I knew he was getting nuked. The units can be difficult to control sometimes, especially in tight spaces where there are vehicles. They don't seem to want to let the infantry by. I'm not really sure what the deal with that is. So we're going to go ahead and build a tech lab or field research thingy, and that way we can start upgrading the Mac Blast as well. So right now, again, we're just amassing troops, trying to get that tech level up, and then we're going to go ahead and storm the base. In a much more aggressive way than they stormed mine. Wow, my eye's twitching really bad right now. Okay, so far we're in pretty good shape. You can ungarrison your troops at this point. Like I said, it's always a good idea, whether you're dealing with Spartans or Marines, to make sure that you garrison your troops whenever you come in contact with the Covenant. Especially in this mission, because they are so heavily upgraded, it's very difficult, even for a Spartan, to deal with, you know, a couple of pairs of Hunters, whatever. If you notice, especially like your Rocket, I think his name's Douglas, Spartan, he's very effective, especially against Banshees, but on the ground he shoots so slow that the enemy can just, you know, gang up on him. It sucks. So at this point, oh, we got a Wraith. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and heal all my units here. Just sort of getting up the army. Hey, look, if I can get it up, that's a pretty good accomplishment, although I'm not even 30 yet. Well, I'll be 30 next year. Now I'm just rambling. Alright, so at this point I'm just sort of uncovering the map a little bit more. We're getting very close to the Covenant base. I want to see if I can just uncover it a little bit while I'm gathering supplies. And again, just continuously building that army. You also want to do a population upgrade, so again you can build more vultures and just do a massive attack all at one time. It seems pretty calm right now, quite the contrary from what we were dealing with just a few minutes ago. But now that the population has been raised, focus on raising that Mac level. Get your Mac on, mother... Oh, wait, can't say that. Even though I spent about maybe the first 5 minutes of the mission doing nothing but cursing out of my ass. Hey, look, it deserved it. But from what I can tell, so far, these really are two, well, among the toughest missions in the game. So if you can get past these without dying, it's pretty much set at this point. I've heard some things about Scarab, but I think that's just about how you attack. Again, kind of like the 4th mission of the game. I heard the next mission can be a little bit tough too, but no. I guess we'll find out. Alright, so at this point, my army is almost complete. What I'm going to do is just amass them all, and while I'm upgrading the Mac gun, I'm going to send my troops over to the base and just get ready to prime for attack. Vultures are expensive too. I think they're about, what, 900 credits, something like that. So it does take a while to get there, but as you can see, I mean, now that we've got like 10 supply pads, it's shooting up fast. Shooting up. It's funny because I live in Virginia. Okay. So now we're just going to move up a little bit more. We've got lots of Spartans at this point. We've got a Wraith. We've got Forge and a ton of air units, so we should be pretty much set. We're at population cap, so we're going to do one more time as far as the upgrade for the Mac is concerned. Once we're at 4x, we're going to go ahead and bombard the base, hit it with that Mac Blast, and do some real heavy damage. This is going to be sweet because payback's a bitch, ain't it? I didn't even notice my base is almost dead. Jeez, that would have been a disaster. I just happened to notice the flames. There really wasn't much of a way for me to tell other than that. Okay, so now we just need to upgrade to 4x. Almost there. We're going to get these troops ready. We've got our army of Spartans, Vultures. captured enemy vehicles. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty proud of this. Especially considering what we just went through. I mean, holy crap. And in this mission, you really don't need more than 4 counts for the reactor. I mean, it's not going to benefit you at all. I want to make sure my units are fully healed before we go over there. And then once the Mac Blast is complete, we're going to wreak some havoc. Now, you can heal your units before you go into the base or while they're fighting. It just depends. I mean, obviously, it's probably a little bit better if you do it before if you're low on units. But if they're, you know, as you can see, most of these are fully healed. I don't think the Vultures have really fought anything. So don't waste your heal on that. So now we're going to go ahead and invade the base. You've got a huge force. And they're shielded. Son of a bitch. Alright, so go ahead. Alright, and that was our major blast right there. Fantastic. So we hit that thing as hard as we possibly could. It looks like it knocked out the shields. So now just use the remaining, all of your forces and just hammer the shit out of them. Oh, sorry. It's been a long mission. Yeah, it dies every time. And once the base is destroyed, that is the mission. I'm going to go ahead and mop up some of these guys just for the heck of it. But that's it. That's Arcadia Outskirts on Legendary with no death. I hope you guys enjoyed this video more than I enjoyed the mission. If you enjoyed what you see here, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more Halo videos every week. Thank you guys so much for watching and bearing with me through this painful experience. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.